answer out loud, but just think about it. Mark said something about thriving versus surviving. How many of us are actually thriving and not just surviving? Okay? So I thought that sorry guys, I'll just steal. All right. I thought that I was thriving. Okay? I thought I was doing great, that I had it figured out, that everything was fine until August of 2017 when I was sexually assaulted. And at that point in my life, things fell apart. Honestly, they did. I began to let Satan tell me that I was not worth anything, that I was disgusting, that I was gross, that God or nobody in my family, my friends, my community would love me after something like that. That I was irreparable, that I couldn't be fixed, that I was just no good. And I let this take over for months and months and months until January of 2018 when I tried to take my own life. Because I was so consumed by my fear, by the disgust, by the words that Satan kept telling me that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't lovable anymore. And it took me overdosing and being in the hospital, being in a coma for a couple days, then being transferred to another facility for me to realize that I have so much more to live for and that I don't have to be consumed by fear. While I was in the hospital, unresponsive, Mark came. My grandmother made the call, and he came and he prayed and stayed with me until she got there. I had several other people in this congregation praying over me. Bud, Rosie, Sharon, all of you, Cindy. I know that you guys prayed so much, and it's because of that that I'm still standing here. Okay? Doctors told my husband that because of what I took, I should not be alive. I shouldn't. But I am. And the beautiful thing about that is that it wasn't my decision. It was God's decision. And I'm still here, and I'm so thankful for that. As I look back on the past couple months, what it's meant to me from being from there to where I am now, I am so thankful that God has given me a second chance. I remember, well, I don't really remember, but I've been told about that day. And my best friend, she lives in Jacksonville. A lot of you guys have met her. She drove 5 hours. Well, she didn't make it in 5 hours. She made it in like 4. But it's supposed to be a 5-hour drive from Jacksonville to Athens, where I was. And when she left her house in Jacksonville, she brought 2 Bibles. She didn't know why. She had no idea. But God said, hey, grab 2. She's like, why? I have mine. That's all I need. He said, no, you take 2. So she took 2. And after I woke up from the hospital, I was transferred from one to another. I asked Mel if she would give me a couple dollars for the vending machine. Okay, simple request. I just wanted a soda. I have a bad caffeine addiction, but nonetheless. She used this Bible in such a powerful way. She put dollars over Psalm 91. She said, listen, I'll give them to you. That's fine. But you need to read this while you're here. And I did. And if you haven't read Psalm 91, it talks about God's love and how nothing can overtake you. Nothing can defeat you as long as you claim him and you're living with him. Yeah? Yeah. So I held that Bible. I grabbed it. I read it every day while I was there. With no family, no friends. I mean, they could come for visitation, but I was on my own. And I clung to that thing. That's all I had. And thank goodness I had it. Because when I left, okay, I came home. My grandmother and Bill, they were taking care of Avery. And Bill and Aaron prayed over me when I got home that day. And I remember coming to church. It was a Wednesday night. And Sharon and Mark and I prayed. And Mel was there too. And because of all of these things, I was delivered from fear, from regret, from hate, from all of these negative things that I had into the love of Christ. And I realized that I've had it all along. But I was so consumed by these things, so consumed by this poison, which is exactly what Satan wanted. But that's not what God wanted. That's not what my family wanted, my friends, my community. but I let it happen. But thank goodness that that's not the case anymore. Yeah?
Amen.
God is good. So, so good. My favorite Bible verse since I've been out of the hospital and working on falling back into my faith and family and just everything that I've been dealing with, I found John 14:27, which says, "The peace I give you, peace I leave with you. I do not give as the world gives. Do not let your heart be troubled, and do not be afraid." I love that. I love it so much. I cling to it every single day. And I'm here to tell you, if you're holding on to something, some kind of fear, some kind of hurt, some hang-up, some habit you can't let go of, you need to grab a hold of that verse. Read it every day. Tell it to yourself. Write it on the sticky note. Put it on the mirror. Whatever you got to do. But do not let fear win. Thank you for letting me share, Mark.